The first thing I noticed was that Lily wasn't acting like herself. My 7-year-old granddaughter usually bounced into my kitchen every Saturday morning with enough energy to wake the entire neighborhood. She would chatter about school, her friends, and the cartoons she had watched before breakfast. But that morning she stood quietly in the doorway, clutching a small juice box with both hands. "Grandpa," she whispered, "can you check what's in my juice?" I smiled, assuming she had found a bit of fruit pulp. "Of course, sweetheart." She handed me the little apple juice box. It looked perfectly normal. The expiration date was still months away, the straw was sealed, and the packaging hadn't been damaged. "What makes you think something's wrong?" I asked. She looked over her shoulder, almost as if she expected someone to be listening. "It tastes funny." I shrugged gently. "Sometimes juice tastes different." She shook her head. "No. It tastes like metal." That single sentence made me pause. I poured the remaining juice into a clear glass. At first glance, everything looked ordinary, golden, slightly cloudy, just like apple juice should be. Then I tilted the glass toward the sunlight streaming through the kitchen window. Tiny black specks drifted lazily through the liquid. Not pulp. Not bubbles. Something else. I frowned. "Did you already drink some?" She nodded. "Almost half." A knot formed in my stomach. I smelled the juice. There was a faint scent beneath the sweetness, something chemical I couldn't identify. I wasn't willing to take chances. "Come on," I said, trying to sound calm. "Let's have the doctor take a quick look." She didn't complain. That worried me even more. Normally, Lily hated clinics. At the urgent care center, the nurse listened patiently while I explained why we'd come. She glanced at the juice. "I doubt it's anything serious," she said kindly. "But we'll have the doctor check her over." The physician examined Lily carefully. Her temperature was normal. Blood pressure was fine. Pulse slightly elevated. Then he asked one question that caught my attention. "Has she complained about dizziness?" Lily nodded. "Just a little." The doctor's smile faded. "I'd like to run a few tests." Within minutes, they drew blood and asked if they could keep the juice sample. As the nurse carried the cup away, I watched her expression change. She stopped halfway through the hallway, held the glass closer, then hurried toward the laboratory. My heart began pounding. An hour later, the doctor returned. His calm face had disappeared. Instead, he looked deeply concerned. "We found foreign particles suspended in the juice." I stared at him. "What kind of particles?" "We don't know yet." He explained that the laboratory had noticed tiny fragments that didn't resemble fruit residue. They appeared synthetic, almost plastic-like. Until they completed further testing, they couldn't determine whether they were dangerous. Lily would need observation. Those words echoed inside my head. Observation. For juice. I called my daughter immediately. She arrived 20 minutes later, pale and frightened. Neither of us left Lily's bedside. She watched cartoons while we pretended everything was normal. Inside, neither of us believed it. Late that afternoon, the doctor returned carrying a sealed evidence bag. Inside was a small filter used during the laboratory examination. Tiny glittering fragments rested against the mesh. "They aren't metal," he explained. "They appear to be fragments from the inside lining of the juice container." I blinked. "The box." He nodded. Something caused the protective inner layer to deteriorate. As the lining broke apart, microscopic pieces mixed into the juice. Most would likely pass through the digestive system without causing serious harm, but because Lily is young, and because she experienced dizziness, we wanted to be cautious. I finally released a breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. "So she'll be okay?" He smiled. "Everything suggests she'll recover completely." My knees nearly gave out. The relief lasted only a moment before another feeling replaced it. Anger. If one juice box had failed, how many others were sitting on grocery store shelves? The doctor explained that the remaining carton would be reported to health authorities for investigation. The manufacturer would likely be contacted. Possible production defects had to be ruled out. As he spoke, I looked at Lily. She was laughing at something on television, completely unaware of the fear that had settled over the adults around her. Children trust us with everything, even something as simple as a drink. That evening, after she was discharged with instructions to drink plenty of water and return if any symptoms appeared, we stopped at home. Lily climbed onto the couch, wrapped herself in her favorite blanket, and looked at me. "Grandpa." "Yes." I knew something wasn't right. I smiled softly. "You did. Thanks for believing me." Those 5 words hit harder than anything the doctor had said. Children notice things adults dismiss every day. A strange taste. An unusual smell. A feeling they can't explain. Too often we tell them they're imagining it. This time Lily trusted her instincts. And because she spoke up, and because we listened, what could have become a far more serious situation was caught before lasting harm was done. Now every time I open a juice box for one of my grandchildren, I pause for just a second. Not because I expect something to be wrong, but because one quiet question from a little girl reminded me that paying attention to the smallest details can make all the difference. Sometimes the greatest act of protection begins with simply believing a child's voice.